Hello, becoming disciplined. How are y'all doing? Sorry I am posting so late today, but we had church and we had other things that we were doing, so I'm getting the video out late, but I'm still getting it out. Still gonna be consistent and get it out. Before I share with my goals, failures, and successes and the goals for today, I wanted to go and always provide you some value first. Give you something good first before I start talking about my goals. And I always share my goals just as a proof of concept that I'm doing my best to become a better person. I celebrate the fact that, yes, right now I jokingly call myself the most undisciplined man in the world, but I am becoming disciplined. I'm trying to get better every day. And with that in mind, a thought that I had is I was watching a podcast by PatrickBetDavid, and he was questioning Shaquille O'Neal. He was having an interview with Shaquille O'Neal, a conversation with Shaquille O'Neal. And this was an interesting conversation because a couple years earlier he had met with Kobe Bryant and he had asked the question, what would Shaq be if he had your work ethic? Or where would Shaq be if he had your work ethic? And Kobe said, he would be the greatest ever. And that kind of caused a stir. Shaq kind of poked at PatrickBetDavid back then, and I even believe he blocked PatrickBetDavid on social media, and that caused some tension between him and Kobe before Kobe passed. And then, ironically, all these years later, PatrickBetDavid has, he's the owner of Edutainment or something similar to Edutainment. He has Shaquille O'Neal now on his show, and you can tell they've made up, and everything's cooler now or better off now. But he asked Shaq the same question to Shaq's face, and Shaq's answer was, I can tell you exactly what I would be if I had Kobe's work ethic. I would be Shaq. And the point that he was making was that Kobe was very disciplined in a few areas of life. He was focused on basketball. He was focused on certain specific things. But Shaq had other obligations. He was already a father of 4 at that time, and he already had other obligations. And Shaq was making a very good point. Even though I am far from a Shaq fan, I'm way more than a Kobe fan. Shaq was making a great point that there is more to being disciplined and having a work ethic than just working on the job or just being great on the court. That there's more to life than that. And that's consistent with what I've taught in the past. I want to share with you that if we're going to be successful in life, that it needs to be holistic. Because if you're successful in one area and then you're not successful in the other. So let me give you a prime example. I have a very successful home life where I have a great relationship with my wife, married 29 years. I have 2 awesome little kids that are the greatest things to ever come forward from me. Amen. And just incredible kids. And I am very wealthy when it comes to my internal family. However, you can be wealthy with your family, but if you're not wealthy with your health, then your family ends up losing you earlier than what they would have to lose you. You die in your 50s or early 60s instead of being able to enjoy your family or families until 70s and 80s. So success needs to be holistic. And one time when I was teaching a class in a more of a religious environment, I listed the different areas of wealth. There's, of course, monetary wealth. We know that health is wealth. Influence is wealth. Let's just be honest with you. It's not the primary thing that I shoot for, but hey, if you got an Instagram following of 1 million people, that's a type of wealth. Now, it doesn't always transfer into money, But it is a type of wealth. Don't front. It is a type of influence. That influence is a type of wealth. There's the wealth of family and friends. How good is your core relationships with your family and your friends? That's a type of wealth. Something that I believe is your history and record and your routine of service. What kind of service, what kind of value are you providing to the public? That is a type of wealth. And then also wisdom. Wisdom, having knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. That in and of itself is a type of wealth. You can lose all your money, but if you're a wise man financially, if you lose all your money, it's not the end of the world, because guess what? You know you have the wisdom to regain it. That's a type of wealth. And then finally, spirituality. That is in my eyes, that's the greatest wealth. Regardless of what your religious affiliation, the becoming discipline is open to all faiths, and even though I'm hardcore regarding my faith, I want becoming discipline to be open to anyone. And I want to be very cautious about trying to push my faith in becoming disciplined, because I'm not trying to push my faith. But I will say this is having an understanding of what's going on beyond what you can taste, touch, hear, and feel. That is a wealth as well. That is a wealth as well. So when we talk about, why am I talking about this success and why am I talking about this wealth? Because when we talk about discipline needs to have a direction or an aim. I don't want to be negative to this brother, because I actually love this brother. I'm not going to say his name, but those of y'all who follow this kind of content, you're going to know who I'm talking about. There is a Navy SEAL who I love him to death. He has a lot of foul language, but he does all these impossible and crazy things, and he is just hard. He's the definition of hard. But a lot of his acts of discipline, they don't seem like they lead to a holistic life, a holistic and happy life. So yeah, it's great. You can go run 300 miles and you can go and you're hard and you can, but the question is, how holistic is your life? Is your disciplines, see, becoming disciplined, we're not looking to be disciplined in just the body. We're looking to be disciplined in all facets of life, because that's the true discipline. That's the true discipline. That's what bothers me about the fact that I can't really go on the speaking market, and I can't go out and do public speeches about becoming disciplined until I take off my weight, because that's the part of discipline that everyone looks at. That's the part that they can. But it's just one. Health is one of the 7 facets of wealth. It's one of the 7 facets, and you got to ask yourself, when you're talking about discipline, is it holistic discipline? Because a true discipline is something that is helping you become successful and prosperous holistically. So the question is, if you're disciplined, are you disciplined with your money? Are you disciplined with your health? Are you disciplined with the words that come out of your mouth so that you can grow and influence? Are you disciplined with how you treat your core family members and friends? Are you disciplined? Do you give back in this world? And are you a person of service? Are you disciplined with whatever your spirituality is? Are you disciplined with your search and understanding of knowledge? So yeah, I struggle with discipline in the health area, but that's one element of discipline. If we're going to become disciplined, we need to be disciplined in all of those 7 core areas so that you can have a whole and complete life. So when you think discipline, don't just think disciplined about sit-ups. That's not all there is to it. What about your budget? What about your health? What about the words that come out of your mouth when it comes to how you influence others? What about your core relationships? What kind of service are you providing? What kind of value are you putting out in the world? How is your spirituality? And how disciplined are you with your knowledge and understanding and wisdom? Discipline, true discipline, is holistic. Now, with that being said, let me give my report for yesterday. Here's all the good things I did. That was the value I provided. Hope you enjoyed it. But with all of that being said, here's how I've been trying to become a better man. Yesterday, I did 10,000 steps. I hit the bench press. I did 20 minutes sauna. And now here's the thing. I didn't have to do 2-hour sermon prep because I remembered that my good brother John Reed was preaching today, so I didn't have to do 2 hours of sermon prep. Now here's where I failed. I did not do 1 hour of writing for becoming disciplined. And here's another place where I failed. I did not exceed my caloric intake for the day, but I did eat outside of the 4-hour window. So those are the two areas I failed. But physically, I did everything else the right way. Here's my goals for the day. 90 minutes, I need to work on my 9-to-5 job, at least today, so I'll be ready for tomorrow. I need to have everything laid out, pressed, and ready to go for tomorrow, because tomorrow I got to drive in to Cubicle Nation so that they can know that, yes, I am part of the culture. And then also, goals for today. 10,000 steps, eat within a 4-hour window, and I'm going to begin to do something new. I'm going to begin to count, along with my 4-hour window, I'm going to begin to count my caloric intake. So the goal is to not exceed 2,600 calories today, and to, out of those 2,600 calories, 370 grams will be from protein. And let me just shoot for the sky. I also have one last goal. 1 hour of writing for becoming disciplined. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 goals for the day. Thank y'all for hanging in there. We're gonna get there. My wife really prepped me up today. I'm getting psyched. I'm getting psyched. My wife really encouraged me today, and I'm ready to walk through some walls today. So hey, y'all be blessed and y'all take care. And thank you for hanging in there. And thank you for being an early adopter. And thank you for watching the most undisciplined man in the world become a piece of adamantium. That's what's going to happen with this channel. You are going to see the most undisciplined man in the world become a piece of steel. And become a piece of steel not just with the body, but with all 7 aspects that I spoke to you about. God bless you, and I love you. Y'all take care.